Like I said earlier, you can walk into a car garage and buy a Nissan, and that's reliable and it'll never let you down. Or you can buy a McLaren. You cannot sit like women do and go, I want the McLaren that's reliable like the Nissan. Well, guess fucking what? That's not real. So you have to choose.
Can I ask you something?
100%. I think society is fundamentally and utterly broken. I think the way that men and women interact is broken. I think that men are broken. I think that women are broken. I think everything is completely fucked. Genuinely. I'll tell you, if I walk in a club, do you know who the hottest girl in the club? It's the girl who isn't dancing, isn't twerking on fucking stage, not surrounded by dudes. But my point is that we're looking for a true degree of innocence inside of females, and it's that innocence that's going to make us feel protective over them, and that protectiveness is going to make us be good men. You've done it with the first time with me. That's what is important. And then at 29, 30, some dude's expected to come along, know he's second place to X, Y, Z, and be happy with that, and not allow it to hurt his ego. And sit there and pick it up and put a fucking brave face on. It kills him every day inside.
Men marry for like high status families. Like I'm thinking of like Ivanka Trump. Like would someone marry a girl for like status in that way?
Well, that is one of the most, I mean, if you look at arranged marriages, it's all for status, right? That's an example. But men primarily marry for, I'd argue that men, and I say this about men, but women do the same thing, right? Women love the idea of getting status from a man. Mm-hmm. Women love the idea, and this is where it actually gets a bit messy. The waters get muddy because women love the idea of bragging about the man they're with, but they can only brag about the man they're with if other women want that man. So you're saying you love women who get cheated, women love getting cheated on. That's not true. But women do not like men that other women don't want. If you were to say, look, I got my man, he's perfect, he's rich, he da-da-da-da-da, and every girl in the room would go, I would never touch him. She'd be like, oh, shit. Oh, I don't want him either then. What the fuck
but
is
you
this?
know, can I add on top of that?
But it's true, right? No. Women want men that all the women want.
Do you know what's the best man that woman wants? Is the one that every girl wants, but he doesn't want them. Okay. A selective man.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's more valuable than the top
but that's
that
the
gets every
You're
host.
saying
that's
that
the fantasy.
But Tate,
no,
you're saying that men are now polygamous
selective.
and women should accept that. That's the problem. Men are continuously disrespecting their woman. Like, yeah, you know what? You can't be with one woman. Now you want to keep cheating with all these different women.
That's not what he said. He's saying if you're gonna go for a high status guy, if you're gonna go for the top 5% of guys, that's what comes with it. And if not, then go for the average guy.
Can I just say that before?
So is it okay for average guys to stick with one woman then?
It's not about okay. It's okay for anyone to do whatever they want. I'm not sitting here saying what's okay and what isn't okay. What I'm talking about is observations about the baseline realities of how humans function. What I'm telling is if you give a man unlimited options, like the men at the top of society have, on a long enough time scale, he will explore said options. That is a fact. Like I said earlier, you can walk into a car garage and buy a Nissan, and that's reliable, and it'll never let you down. Or you can buy a McLaren. You cannot sit like women do and go, I want the McLaren that's reliable like the Nissan. Well, guess fucking what? That's not real. So you have to choose.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Tate? Can I ask you something? Years ago, right, do you think it makes a difference? Because years ago, if you want to meet a man, you go out there and you actually talk. But now you meet a guy, he can go and check out your IG and see what you're all about. Don't you think that by them being able to look and see what you're all about, that makes a difference to how they perceive you?
100%. I think society is fundamentally and utterly broken. I think the way that men and women interact is broken. I think that men are broken. I think that women are broken. I think everything is completely fucked, genuinely. And this is where we go into the small things. We're talking about status. You're right about IG. If I go on a date with a girl and I look at her Instagram page, I'm sitting there thinking, does this make me look good or bad? Yes, I want her to be hot. Yes, I want her to have followers. Yes, I want everyone chasing her. But what's that caption about fucking city life? And what's this about? What's that? That's not, nah, that puts me off, right? So it's interesting. What's also interesting is the majority of women don't have a clue in the modern world what men find attractive. So we said earlier in the very beginning of this podcast about men who want their dick sucked and all this bullshit. Men don't, that's not attractive to men. We don't want any of that. Most women, if you were to say, how do you attract a man, they wouldn't have a Scooby-Doo. They wouldn't have an idea.
I know. They want a submissive woman.
Hello, my
she
name's
cooks for
Nova.
him. Give him some massage.
But
feed him grapes.
It's not even
Pat his hair.
It's not just about that. One of the important things for being a man, especially in a relationship, is we want to be our woman. If I have a woman and I love her, I want to be her portal to the world. I want her to experience things through me and see things through me. So for that, I need a degree of innocence and purity for her. I want to be the first person to put her on a private jet. I want her to get on the jet and go, wow, Oh, you took me. It's like you wouldn't want to give someone a Christmas present if they'd had 10 presents better than you beforehand.
Yeah,
would you? It's like, well, duh. Yeah. So as a woman, what makes you attractive to a man, to a degree, is your innocence and your purity. This is very important. And it can go down to very basic, simple things. I'll tell you, if I walk in a club, do you know who the hottest girl in the club? It's the girl who isn't dancing, isn't twerking on a fucking stage, not surrounded by dudes. When girls want male attention in a club, they start drinking, twerking. That is the most revolting, haram bullshit. I may want to fuck you, but I don't want to be with you. If you show me a girl sitting in the corner, shy, I'm like, good, she hasn't experienced too much life. I can show her things. And also, not just show her things. This is a very important point that I get attacked by the Matrix for because they completely misunderstand me on purpose. As a man, if I'm out here struggling and leading and trying to lead my household, I also want a woman who shares my values. I want to a degree to educate my woman and show her things and for her to agree with me. Like you said earlier, looking for a male role model. You want to be a role model to your woman. If she's too experienced with life, it's difficult to be a role model. If she's sitting there shy and quiet, you can come along and say, no, you know what? Don't take the fucking vaccine. Listen to me. And you can be a role model for her. You can't do that for a woman who knows too fucking much, knows too many dudes, been too many places. So it's this degree of purity that we're looking for that's super important.
What about intellect, though? I'm curious. If you said if she's like done too many things, that's like bad. Right?
Yes, correct.
So I'm not even talking sexually, like been on a private jet. Yeah. I'm curious because I lived a...
But how do you get on a private jet without sucking dick?
Oh, I was just curious because my dad's part of like, he's top like 1% in terms of like income. And I was just curious, is it different if you did stuff with your dad?
Well, no, that's fine.
No, not like that. Not sexual. No, I meant like
you said private jet.
Yeah, private.
I know what you're saying. Well, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But my point is that we're looking for a true degree of innocence inside of females, and it's that innocence that's going to make us feel protective over them, and that the protectiveness is going to make us be good men.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when we're looking at society as a whole and how broken it is, I understand that men have a massive role to play, women have a massive role to play, but a lot of the paternal instincts and instinctual behaviors of men, because the instinctual behavior of man is to die for his woman. Mm-hmm. Like someone comes to try and take her, pull a sword, die to defend her, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going through life and you find that men don't really feel about you that way, that's because a lot of their instinct is being eroded by the fact that you, like you said, they look through your IG or they look through your life and you've lived so much life and they just feel like, there's nothing new I can bring to this girl's reality.
But I don't feel like that's true, though, because like I think it's like I get what you're saying to a degree, right? But it's like you could be on a private jet 10 times, but it's going to be special because it's with you.
Yeah. Not for him, it isn't. Not for him. For him, it's special because it's your first time. Because men, maybe it's a biological predisposition. Maybe it's just the way we're designed. But let's tie it back to sex. Virginity, first time. It's not that you've done it. It's that you've done it with the first time with me. That's what is important. It's experience as a whole that men find. It's just the truth. Call me misogynistic, cancel me, whatever. I'm telling the truth. I always have done. It's experience of life as a whole that men, to a degree, find off-putting. We don't want a woman who's had a bunch of trauma, had a bunch of experiences, done a bunch of shit, knows a bunch of people, been a bunch of places. That's the absolute opposite of what we want. We want the complete polar opposite of that. And what's funny is women want men who have done those things. I'll tell you right now. Go out there and find a virgin woman and say, do you want to have your first boyfriend? Do you want to lose your virginity to a virgin man or a man or a man who's had a couple girls? She'll choose a dude with experience as a virgin herself. Experience is always coveted and respected in men. It's the opposite in women.
That's true.
So it's true. So we have to look at how fucked up the world is. Women, especially between their 18 and 28, or 18 and 25, let's say, are living these crazy lifestyles, these crazy lives with the most important people, richest people on the planet, doing everything that can be experienced under the sun. And then at 29, 30, some dude's expected to come along, know he's second place to X, Y, Z, and be happy with that. And not allow it to hurt his ego and sit there and pick it up and put a fucking brave face on. It kills him every day inside. That's the reality. He's in love with you. And you've been fucking where with fucking who? I can't afford a jet. I'm Joe Schmo. Okay. That fucking breaks their hearts.